say that shit, like bad kids, bitch, we reckless, yeah, all hearts are like taxes.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Guap, I'm back with another video. And before I even start the video off, man, I want to give a special thanks to everybody on my Discord servers and my YouTube comments, on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else, man, that sent me happy birthday wishes last week on the 22nd, man. I really appreciate the support that I got last week on my birthday, man. It was really amazing. I'm talking about dozens of people actually took time out of their day to actually say happy birthday to me and wish that I had a happy birthday, man. I thank y'all so much for that, man. And I know that y'all trying to be patient with me and everything else while I pump out these videos for y'all, because I've caught a rhythm and I don't think I'm gonna stop. And especially because I gained 31 subscribers in the past 30 days. So we're gonna keep that subscriber ball rolling and make sure we get this 1K before spring, man. That's my goal. I want 1K before spring, dog, and I'm gonna get it. So with that out of the way, let's get into this video, dog. So a lot of y'all guys know or haven't been following in the 2K community that the 2K community is pretty much split up and actually arguing over what build takes less skill to use. And I see this every day on my Twitter feed. I see this every day on my IG stories and everywhere else, that stretch bigs take less skill. No, playmaking sharps take less skill. Now, I'm going to actually dive into this argument and actually get into this discussion, and I'm going to win this discussion. Y'all know me. When I get into discussions like this, I'm gonna win it. Because I use my tiny little brain up here, that I actually use common sense and common knowledge along with specific evidence that's going to back up my arguments. So whoever don't agree with me, y'all can suck my wee-wee with y'all mother's lips. Okay? So now every single day, I kid you not, every single day on my timeline on Twitter, I hear somebody from the NBA 2K community saying stretch bigs takes less skill to use because all you're doing is just holding down a button. Now, I'm going to get into this argument. Now, this is coming from a stretch big man myself, and as y'all can see by my 2K gameplay in the background, y'all know what I be on. So, I'm going to get into this argument. Now, first, I'm going to talk about the stretch bigs. Do the stretch big mans take less skill to use? Not necessarily, and I'm going to tell you why. Because number one, we are taller and we're slower. That's number one. We can't run around. We don't have full speed like point guard speed like we did back then. Like, I know back in the day we used to be moving slow as turtles, but now we actually have speed, but not point guard speed. And we actually have to figure out ways to get ourselves open, because number one, we don't have no dribble packages, and number two, we have low ball handling. So we can't do all that dribbling and stuff like point guards do. And if we were able to, we would be patched within the first day, because pure stretches with point guard handles was overpowered on NBA 2K17, and I'm going to get into that. Now, another reason why I say this is because this year on 2K19, we don't have any animation glitches like we did on 2K17 and 2K18. If y'all remember what the 2K animation glitch was, and if y'all aren't familiar with it, is that the 2K animation glitch is that, say if you have a pure playmaker, right, and you have all the maxed out stats and everything, the maxed out dribbling, and that gives you access to all the elite dribble moves, the elite dribble packages, and everything else. So you put it in your cart, you disconnect your internet, and then you reconnect it, and then load back up the game, and then you load back onto your pure stretch, and then it's still going to be in your cart, and then you buy it, and it's going to be on your player. So that's how the animation glitch worked. And y'all saw me on NBA 2K17 and 18 going crazy, spamming dribble moves like that, and actually getting myself open with that. This year, I'm not even aware that we even have a dribble animation, because I think that they actually did a good job not putting out an animation glitch for the pure stretches, because I know if pure stretches had pure playmaker handles with their pure stretch shooting, people will be complaining 24/7 and the game will already be screwed up. So I'm thankful that they didn't do that, but that's okay, because I'm still going to put up my 11 points, my 11 to 14 points on the park regardless. So that's another reason why pure stretches aren't really take less skill. And then let's talk about the jump shooting. The jump shooting back then was always used to be getting tweaked and everything else. Now this year is not being tweaked and secret patches aren't being happening without us knowing. So thankfully for that. So this year we actually had to take into consideration our jump shot, our jump shooting form, and we also had to take into consideration latency, because the little bit of latency can mess up your whole entire jump shot and make you miss. So that's why that we actually have to sit up here and actually figure out what's the best jump shot if the latency gets this low, what's the best jump shot if the latency is too high or normal. So it takes time to actually figure out and catch a rhythm on NBA 2K19 as a shooter, because I know at the beginning of the year I was beginning to get frustrated because this year I wasn't able to actually shoot lights out off the bat. I actually had to catch a rhythm because none of my old jump shots was working, but then I finally found a jump shot and I finally got a rhythm back. So you get what I'm saying? So it took me a little bit of time, but I'm finally a god again with a stretch big man. So now I'm going to talk about the pure playmakers. Now, the pure playmakers, or the ISO gods, you know, Steezo, Swante, you know, all them, and no disrespect to them. If they dropping people off that way, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the quote-unquote ISO gods that spam dribble moves for 23 seconds and then throw up a contested shot or a contested layup at the last possible second, or then have they stuff rejected all the way to the moon. I'm talking about those type of people. Now, they claim that dribbling takes skill. Dude, I hopped on 2K16 or 2K18 with my playmaker, and it takes no skill. Anybody can dribble. Any fool can dribble on this game. It don't matter how skilled you are. It don't matter how less skilled you are. Anybody can dribble on this game as long as they know what they're doing. So, take into that consideration, if you're doing all this dribbling, okay, and you can't get yourself open for 23 seconds, that says something a lot about you and something a lot about your defender. Because it's either two options. You can't get yourself open because you're sitting up here spamming the same dribble moves, or your defender is catching on to what you're doing and they stopping you before you actually execute your dribble moves and shoot. Or it could be a combination of both. You never know. But you can't do all that dribbling and can't get yourself open. You know what I'm saying? Now, I commend people who actually dribble and get themselves open. Now, those are the true ISO players. Now, the true ISO players can actually get themselves open and actually shoot the ball green lights out consistently. I'm talking about they can break ankles back to back to back in green light every single time. Now, I'll applaud y'all on that. But I'm talking about that you also have to take into consideration about stuff like the ankle breaker badge being on Hall of Fame. You actually have to have your shooting badges. You actually have to have a good jump shot and possible perk boosts in order for you to shoot, because play sharps, they can only get like an 85, maybe an 82 jump shot from three-pointer without a boost. With a boost, that's like an 87 or 88. I'm not really sure, but y'all gonna have to tell me down in the comments if y'all actually say I'm wrong about that. So with all that stuff taken in consideration, it really all comes down to who's behind the sticks. Because I've seen people with pure sharps that just, or pure playmakers that can't even get themselves open to save their entire life. I'm talking about they can spam dribble moves all day and can't get themselves open. Well, meanwhile, I'm sitting up here trying to get myself open for an easy three-pointer, and I can't get the ball out of their hands because they want to be a quote-unquote ISO dribble god and copy these other YouTubers. Like I said, I got no beef with these other dribble god YouTubers. If I see what they do, because I hate to be guarding them. You know what I'm saying? So, no offense to them, but I'm talking about y'all who think that y'all good, who think that y'all can actually dribble, who think that y'all can actually create yourself some space. When you're gonna guard somebody like me, who gonna know what you're doing, knows what you're doing, and stop you before you do it. So that's my whole take on the whole situation. At the end of the day, it all comes down to who's behind the sticks, in all honesty. You can be the most trashiest player and still ball out. Your player can have the lowest attributes possible and still ball out. You can have a 99 and still be garbage. So I learned this all throughout the years of NBA 2K. Now, I'm seeing on Twitter and I'm seeing on my IG stories, like I said, it's like a steady argument. Now, I'm also going to talk about the patch update that dropped today. They said that the patch update dropped today so they can it was supposed to patch and buff shot contests. Now, I'm telling you right now, I sat up here and played the one my career game. I took 3-4 contested shots back to back, and I made every single one of them. I'm talking about heavily contested, and I made them all with silver deep range Deadeye. So, and of course it's on pro, so of course I'm gonna make everything. But on all-star difficulty, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make just as much with silver deep range Deadeye and my jump shot. So, I sat up here and I actually googled the patch notes, and a couple things that I saw with this patch notes, and I saw gameplay from Nate Extreme. I see him, he was still shooting contested shots. These contested shots are still falling in from what I'm seeing, because I haven't played this game in like what, 2 or 3 weeks, because I've been playing Black Ops and Red Dead. But the first time I actually hop on this game, and my first 3-4 shots that I take on my career is contested shots, and I make them all, and one of them was a green light on pro difficulty. I feel like that they didn't do really anything. If anything, they just made it worse. So I'm actually going to do a little bit more investigating, and if I find anything suspicious about the park shooting or anything else, because I think that's what it is. I think that they patched it for park shooting. I don't think that they patched it for my career shooting. Now, I may not be sure. I'm going to have to test it. But if I do test it and I see something wrong with it, I'm actually going to make a video about it. So yeah, man, that's pretty much about it. Now, at the end of the day, it pretty much depends on who's playing the game and who's behind the sticks and who's controlling the player. So you can still have a 99 overall with all the badges and still be garbage at the game. So with that out of the way, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. Does stretch bigs take less skill, or does ISO guys take less skill? Let's get the discussion popping, man. So out of the way, guys, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're new. I got another video coming out in a few minutes, and I'm signing out, dog.